everyone, it's Ben Hardy here. This is the start of our 4Runner TRD Pro off-road POV video for the second channel. If you guys are wondering, I'm just gonna keep it in four-wheel drive for this particular trail. We've got 9.6 inches of ground clearance. We have TRD tuned shocks and suspension, Fox shocks if you guys are wondering the brand. And I know it never pops up on camera very well, but like this is a super rutted out trail. You know, it's not necessarily like super difficult, but you guys can see some of this stuff like right here. Look at this. Like it's I guess it's not crazy difficult, but I mean, if you don't have good all-terrain tires and four-wheel drive in certain parts of this trail, you'll definitely get stuck. And so yeah, let's kind of go through this trail, and you know, hopefully you guys enjoy just some good old off-road fun here in the TRD Pro. Yeah, look at this with the articulation. Like, if you guys are wondering, we're getting pretty flexed out with the rear end. We've got a solid rear axle, independent front suspension here with the TRD Pro 4Runner. Got skid plates underneath to protect us. You guys can see what I have the tire pressure set at, low 30s. That's the cold pressure rating for this. So I don't have this aired down by any means. A lot of this kind of like bumping and shaking would go away if I had the tires aired down more. I still don't have a mobile compressor. I'm working on that, people. Hopefully I will have one for a future off-road review. That was the traction control coming in and biting. But this thing is incredible. I already did a few clips for the main channel video, the off-road review. That's a little bit more of a polished product, right? This is just, you know, film and go. And yeah, the damping on it is just incredible. The maneuverability is great on this as well. Look at this ground clearance. Those rocks are pretty pointed up at least. And this thing just tackles terrain. I am so impressed. If you guys aren't familiar with my channel, I literally own a Ram TRX, a Ford Raptor, the new Gen 3 Ford Raptor, and a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 with the Extreme Recon package. So I got a bunch of crazy off-roaders with 35s or 37s, you know, the most advanced off-road tech. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of trails that I'd rather just have this, because just maneuverability with this is great because it's not a huge vehicle, similar to the Jeep Wrangler size. But since you have the independent front suspension, unlike the Wrangler, a little bit more comfortable ride, right? Especially when you go over bigger bumps. And yeah, just like that durability factor, like this thing can just take some abuse. I took a Tacoma TRD Pro off-road a few weeks ago, same green color, bright green color, and yeah, I can just tell you, like, I was super impressed by the end of it. And this just impresses me even more. And the thing that's cool about the 4Runner is it's a shorter vehicle than the Tacoma. I'm guessing width is probably gonna be pretty similar, pretty close. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. They feel about the same width. But yeah, having a slightly shorter vehicle, right, gives us a little bit of a bumpier ride over certain things, right? Longer vehicles, longer wheelbases and everything kind of cushion you, take you out of it a little bit. But this is so maneuverable. I love it. In the Toyota lineup for off-road vehicles, I think the 4Runner is the sweet spot because it's big enough that it's practical, right, to use on a day-to-day basis, especially if you have a family. But it's also small enough that it fits on trails and you can maneuver around the trails. And yeah, it's just perfect. The new Sequoia TRD Pro is coming out, right? It's gonna have a cool hybrid powertrain. It's gonna have some cool off-road tech, but it's gonna be just an absolute hog on the trail. Whereas this, I can just maneuver around everything. And the thing I also want to mention is I'm doing this on a weekday. My schedule's crazy this week, but I feel really comfortable doing this on a weekday. Knock on wood, hopefully nothing happens, right? But it's because, like, Toyota's reliability, like, I'm not concerned that I'm going to break down on the trail. My biggest concern is, yeah, maybe I go, you know, a little bit too fast over a rocky section, or maybe, you know, I just, you know, make sweet love to a rock in just the right way that I slice through one of the tires. That's really what I'm worried about. But like, you know, the engine failing, transmission failing, you know, any of the components failing, I'm not worried about that. We've got, you know, just a regular, we've got like a regular old school setup. We've got, again, a solid rear axle. We've got regular springs in the back. We don't have fancy air suspension or any of the crazy tech you're seeing in some of the modern off-roaders. And so what it leads to is just a ton of confidence. And, you know, frankly, the capability of this is just phenomenal. I am absolutely shocked. And we are hauling down this trail. Just to give you guys an idea, I took my Gen 3 Raptor down this same trail, and I can tell you it would be way back there because of the size. You know, if we were on something a little bit wider, I'd obviously be able to keep up in the Raptor and, you know, pass it up because of the crazy travel on that truck. But on, you know, a lot of on tighter trails like this, which is a lot of trails I've noticed, I've done a lot of off-roading this year to become a better driver so I can get better reviews for you guys. And so I think, like I said earlier, this is just the size sweet spot. It's great. Like, I hope this is coming through on camera, like all of the steering inputs I'm putting in, like, and you know, the shaking you're getting in the vehicle, right? I hope this is coming through. Like, this is not your, you know, this is not your average dirt road. And this is fun, by the way. This type of driving, you know, even though this is not, you know, crazy high-speed Baja stuff or, you know, super technical rock crawl stuff, there's still a level of excitement to this. You know, maneuvering through everything, making sure you're going through stuff in the right way. Yeah, that rock a little bit too big. That's a Jeep Wrangler on 35s type rock. But again, look, we can maneuver around it. In my Raptor, I had to kind of go over those rocks, which is fine. It's got good ground clearance. But again, I mean, you know, part of, you know, going off-road and this outdoorsy stuff is being safe on the trails. And, you know, I think the best, oh, that was hard. I think the best possible outcome for an off-road adventure is nothing breaks, you don't get stranded, you know, you push the vehicle a little bit, you push yourself a little bit as a driver, right? You've got to use some technical skills, but then you just make it back home and you have a fun adventure to talk about. You've got a fun story to tell. And the 4Runner, ooh, this is so bumpy. The 4Runner allows you to, man, what gear is this in? Okay, that is one thing I'm gonna complain about is, you know, with the Toyotas, they put it in such a high gear when you're just the regular automatic mode. Now, I know I can pop it in a 4-wheel low and do the terrain control stuff and, you know, put it in like loose sand and rock crawl mode and everything like that, but I just wish that the transmissions wouldn't like shift up to third gear when you're going like 10 miles an hour. I understand it's for fuel economy and all that kind of stuff, but, well, we're also in the eco mode, funny enough. I understand it's for fuel economy, but still, I guess that's also kind of just like a personal preference thing. Now, the rest of this trail is kind of boring for the next little bit, so I will get back to you guys once I get some more fun challenge stuff. We've got our hill climb here. Some of these hills will get up to like something over 20 degrees. If you're not in 4-wheel drive, you're just going to spin the tires and you're not really going to make it up. And you know, that's something I do want to talk about for a second is don't feel bad about using the tech in a vehicle. Now, I am just in 4-wheel high, but if you have to use 4-wheel low, if you have to use the rear locker, don't feel bad about that. Don't feel like it's a crutch. It's like, first off, you're making it so you're not destroying the trail, because if you just do everything in 2-wheel drive and make it up, you're just going to rip up the trail. You're going to rip up your tires too, right? You don't want that. Yeah, so here's the steep part. You guys will hear the traction control system. It's gonna have to do quite a bit to get us up this. Jeez, this is a freaking mountain goat. But yeah, don't feel bad about using that, right? If you have the tools, use the tools, right? Don't tear up the trails so that other people can use them in the future. And, you know, keep yourself safe, keep your vehicle safe, especially with how expensive vehicles are. 4-wheel low for this hill. I'm doing this, again, for safety purposes. So we're actually gonna try the crawl control. So I think I've got it, do I have it set on? Oh, I've got to put it to drive. Whoops. Okay, crawl control on. I got speed set to 1. So slowest speed possible. Oh man. I'm just doing this for demonstration's sake. And also this hill, like if you went fast down this hill, you're done for. Totaling your vehicle. This is so weird. Oh my goodness. So it's doing the braking. And this is a very sandy, steep hill, so it's like, this is no joke. I'm actually gonna put it up just 1 speed faster. So we're just going a little bit faster. I know this is probably pretty boring to watch, but again, safety first. It's a pretty steep hill, sandy, and you guys can see the curve here in front of me. Let's go 1 more. I mean, even though the system sounds pretty annoying, because it's just constantly, but I mean, put it up a little bit higher. So even at the higher speed settings, it's still not super quick. That's impressive though. You know, if you're doing normal driving, 2-pedal driving and everything, when you're going down that, you slide down the hill a little bit. It's kind of scary. So that feels a lot, again, that feels a lot safer. Okay, this is my favorite part. So we're gonna turn off the crawl control, deactivated. Look at this, neutral. Now I'm in 4-wheel high again. That easy. Like, you don't have to do any weird rolling and all that kind of stuff like you have to do in a Jeep Wrangler, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, again, there's our little off-road trail adventure here with the 4Runner for the second channel. So I guess summing things up, it can handle high speed. It's got really good damping. You literally can just like plow through stuff. We all know Toyota reliability, especially with this powertrain, is rock solid. And so, you know, I really like this. And after taking this off-road, it kind of makes me want one. I also kind of want to wait to see what the new 4Runner does. I want to see what powertrain it has and everything. But at the same time, I like the idea of like how reliable this is. And you'd think that I wouldn't be impressed by something like this. Because again, I'm coming from such capable vehicles that are so like, that are just 100% into off-roading, pretty much. And this still impresses me. Like it's enjoyable to, like, I'm actually, like, this is fun to drive, so capable, and I feel safe. I think that's something that's really, like, I feel safe in this, which I think is really important to mention. You can just freaking haul in the 4Runner TRD Pro. This is so crazy. I keep seeing cooler stuff to go through, so I just keep like showing you guys, keeping the camera on. Wow, this is so much fun. So, yeah, look at this big bump. Woo! But yeah, that's gonna sum things up. Let me know what you guys think about the new TRD Pro 4Runner, if you're all about it or not, and there you go.